Today we will discuss about monoclonal antibodies. As we all know, these monoclonal antibodies have great role in diagnostic purposes, especially immunodiagnostic purposes. The method by which these monoclonal antibodies are formed is called hybridoma technology, and it was first discovered in 1975 by two scientists, Georges Kohler and Cesar Milstein. They wanted to create a immortal hybrid cells by fusion of two different types of cells. One is B cells from immunized mice and another is the immortal myeloma cell. So to start with, what is polyclonal antibody and how monoclonal antibodies are different from their polyclonal counterpart? Mostly we all know that antibodies generally that are produced in the body are polyclonal in nature. That means they are derived from different B lymphocyte cell lines. That's why they vary from batch to batch, affecting the antibody reactivity and the treatment process. For that reason, they are not a powerful tool for clinical diagnostic test. So there lies the importance of monoclonal antibodies. These antibodies are derived from a single B cell clone. As the name suggests, they are produced from a single clone, so there is no batch to batch variation, as well as effectiveness of antibody is much more predictable. Because of that, they are used severely in immunoassay systems. Now, these monoclonal antibodies are mainly produced by fusion of two different types of cells, which is called as hybridoma technology. The first type of cells are spleen cells that contain B cells or B lymphocyte cells, which are of interest because these B cells are there to produce the particular antibody, but they are not allowed to grow immortally, so they have a fixed lifespan. Whereas the different type of cell, the second class of cell, is the myeloma cells. They grow but they don't make the right antibody. So two different types of cells, they have their own functions to play here. Fusion gives the cells that grow immortally as well as that can produce the antibody. So fusion of these two different types of cells help us to develop the hybrid cells which has the capacity to grow as well as to produce the antibody, which is called monoclonal antibody or MAB in short. For selection of this hybrid cells, HAT medium is needed. Now, what is HAT medium, how it is used, we will explain later. Individual hybridomas are then tested for synthesis of required antibody to see whether they are producing the required antibody we aimed for or not. This pictorial depiction very clearly shows what is actually hybridoma technology. For the production of monoclonal antibody, first of all, we immunize a mice by injecting antigen. And then we isolate the spleen cells from the mice. As we all know, the spleen cells contain B lymphocytes. We then fuse the spleen cells with myeloma cells or cancerous cells. Fusion may occur or may not occur. So because of that, we should carry out a screening process to see whether the cells are fused or hybrid or not. After screening, we also screen the cells for the production of desired antibody, and if the hybrid cells produce the desired antibody, we further take them and grow for commercial level production of monoclonal antibodies. For this, we should understand what is actually HAT selection, the medium that we use for selection of hybrid cells. To understand HAT selection, first of all, we should understand what is the pathway for synthesis of nucleotides in mammalian cells? Mainly, mammalian cells have two different pathways by which the nucleotides can be synthesized. First one is known as de novo pathway, and the second is called the salvage pathway. De novo pathway starts with phosphoribosyl phosphate or pyrophosphate plus uridylate. Because of this combination, after several steps, the nucleotides can be formed, and we all know that nucleotides are the building blocks of DNA. In this process, if aminopterin is there, which is a folic acid analog, so if we add aminopterin in the medium, this aminopterin acts as the inhibitor in the formation of the nucleotide. So, in the HAT medium, the A stands for aminopterin. So, if aminopterin is present, no de novo synthesis of nucleotide is possible. The second pathway is salvage pathway, which starts from thymidine or hypoxanthine. If it starts with thymidine and there is thymidine kinase enzyme, then again after several steps, the nucleotides are formed and DNA can be built. Hypoxanthine, again, with the help of hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase, is converted to the nucleotide and again the DNA can be produced. What happens is, myeloma cells used in hybridoma technology are double mutants. That means they carry two different types of mutation. That means they lack the AGPRTase enzyme, that is hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase enzyme, and lost the ability to produce the immunoglobulin or the antibody. Okay. Now, if we focus on this HAT medium selection, what we actually do is we fuse two different types of cell. One is encircled by red bold line, another is encircled by a blue bold line. So these two different types of cell types are fused to form the hybrid cells. So one type of cell towards your left, another is towards the right. They are fused at the center to form the hybrid cell. The first cell type are immortal myeloma cells or plasmacytoma, whereas the other type of cell are the mortal splenic B cells. The immortal myeloma cells are TK negative. TK here is thymidine kinase negative, whereas the mortal splenic B cells are thymidine kinase positive. Now we know the importance of the enzyme thymidine kinase. So, this immortal myeloma cells, which are thymidine kinase negative, because they have thymidine kinase mutation, they causes a loss of function in the salvage pathway. So, salvage pathway cannot be carried out because TK is not present or the gene is mutated. The second point is, aminopterin is already present in the HAT medium. This A of the HAT medium is for aminopterin only. So the medium always contains the drug aminopterin, which is a folic acid analog and an inhibitor of de novo pathway. So by de novo pathway, nucleotides cannot be formed, and because the cells are TK negative, by salvage pathway also nucleotides cannot be formed. So what will be the fate of these cells? The cells will die. Okay. Whereas the mortal splenic B cells, which are thymidine kinase positive, though the media carry aminopterin, so de novo pathway is not possible here also. But because of the presence of thymidine kinase enzyme, the cells will become mortal. Here, the functional DNA synthesis will occur, but they will eventually die Because they have limited lifespan. So they are mortal. Now, when we fuse these two types of cells or form a hybrid cell, then these hybrids will survive, because in the hybrid cell, immortality is gained from the myeloma cells, and the DNA synthesis is gained from the thymidine kinase activity of the mortal splenic B cells. So this hybrid cells will only survive. So what are the application of this type of cells or monoclonal antibodies? Monoclonal antibody therapeutics is hugely used. They are able to maintain an extremely high affinity towards their target because they are very much specific. They are specific than polyclonal antibodies. Okay, and the second main point is in vivo diagnostic tool. In vivo diagnostics are a very non-invasive way for clinicians to diagnose any disease progression through analysis of biomarkers within the body rather than through biogenic samples inside a laboratory. So because of this possibilities, monoclonal antibodies have so wide range of applications. Hope this presentation helped you to understand the nitty-gritties of monoclonal antibodies. Thank you.